Hello and welcome to the Alternative Living Podcast.
We're Bea and Theo, and together we are the Indie Projects. We travel full-time meeting interesting people who've handcrafted alternative homes and lifestyles.
So thanks for joining us and let's get to it.
Recently, we met up with Steph and Matt whilst we were in Cornwall, and after spending the day filming a tour with them in their live in Iveco van, we sat down overlooking the Cornish coast to have a chat about how van life works for them. Hello everybody and welcome to our podcast. We are joined today by Matt and Steph, and we are sitting in their van Ivy overlooking the Cornish coastline.
Way.
Hello,
Cool.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Steph.
Cool. So we've been hanging out today, just kind of filming and stuff like that. We got some photos, we got some film. Kind of, what's your background?
So my background's in photography and stuff.
My background's in illustration and kind of graphic design, fine art kind of thing.
Yeah.
So how did you find yourself living in a van?
Well, we first found ourselves looking for a van when we got over to Oz, and it was just a good means of getting around, seeing a lot, living cheaply, just being mobile and free pretty much.
And I think it had been a dream of mine since I was little to travel around and be in a van and go on adventures. So that was our starting point in Australia.
Yeah, and we stuck to the coast a lot, and a lot of the cruising around was orientated around surfing, and it's just progressed from there really. Then we ended up coming back to Europe for a bit of work. We were doing a project with like a mobile surf lodge, driving through Portugal and Morocco, guiding people around to surf, catering for them. And we invested in Ivy and moved into her about 2 years ago. So yeah, feels like a mansion compared to the little van we had in Oz.
It's like a palace.
Yeah.
So how did Oz come about? Had you been together for a long time before you went to Australia?
No, Matt, you'd been planning it for a while, hadn't you?
Yeah. I'd had my visa for a while, and I was working in the UK at a kind of snowboard, skate, like surf store, and Steph was working at the other store in the town, and we met there, and then
I was finishing my degree. And then Matt said, do you want to come to Australia? So we
whisked her off.
Yeah, we went off, didn't we? And
Sure did.
bought a van.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. Pretty much. We lived in that van for a year,
Yeah.
full time.
Then we,
Just travelled west coast, south, and a little bit of the east.
Yeah, and Vic, and then up the east for a bit, didn't we?
Yeah, so that was pretty
So
epic.
what van was that, and kind of what was the layout?
It was a Ford Econo van. So it was 1999, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't too. It was still relatively new, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was just an old tradie van, and we had the kitchen. So you had to open the boot to use the kitchen. We had kind of a little shelving area with a gas bottle and stove, and
It was literally just 3 seats in the front and a bed in the back.
Yeah.
And that was it.
You
and a
see,
kitchen.
you see that kind of design quite frequent now.
Yeah.
Did you do that yourselves, or did you buy the van already done?
It was kind of, the frame was there, wasn't it?
Yeah,
for a
I
mattress.
got it off a mechanic in Perth, and he'd kind of put the frame of the bed in, and there was a shelf at the back, and then we added a few little touches, and
But that was a fixed bed, wasn't it? So,
yeah, it was.
And you couldn't even sit up in that
No.
van. It was really crouched down. But it was perfect
It
for what
was,
we wanted it for.
Perfect.
Yeah, and now we live in a palace.
Grand Palace.
How long were you in Australia?
A year in
Yeah.
total, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And would you recommend it?
Oh, 100%.
100%. Yeah.
Definitely.
Is it quite chilled for kind of the van lifestyle and the scene out there? What's it like? Did you see lots of other vans?
The route we took was a bit out of the way, wasn't it?
Yeah. We took a route kind of off season everywhere we went, and so not as, the weather wasn't as great, but it's still a lot better than the UK. But we did it off season and kind of a bit off the beaten track as well. Stayed out of the way very much.
There was a lot of backpacker cars on the east coast.
Yeah.
But we kind of wanted to go off an adventure and find some more secluded places.
Definitely
so,
the west and south, beautiful and really, really secluded. Beaches to yourself, explore.
So were you working as well as travelling in your van at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did bits and bobs, didn't we, along the way?
Yeah.
And we spent a while working on an organic farm for 3 or 4 months, was it?
I was, just about 2 and a bit, almost 3 months.
And
Yeah.
that was to get our second year, but we've not used that yet, so we can still use that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's
cool.
in stock for when we need it.
Yeah. So that was good experience. Yeah. In WA, it was tough work.
It
Hats off
sounds
to them.
hard. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
sounds
was.
hard work.
Definitely.
Especially in that heat.
Yeah.
Lots of weeding, lots of hands-on stuff, being organic. And then we helped out on a property in South Oz, and met some really lifelong friends out there. And we stayed with friends already who we knew along the way, which was really good as well. And they showed us around, and everybody was
so generous and
hospitable,
accommodating,
yeah.
and just lovely. So it's a great place.
How have you found being in a van in the UK compared to being over in Australia?
It feels very
It is a lot
claustrophobic,
different.
in the UK. Not as much space, and you've got lots of people
Yeah, it's a lot.
crammed onto our
It
little
seems a
island.
lot smaller, heaps smaller.
Harder to kind of park up, in spots if you want to stay somewhere the night.
You can't really get away from anyone, can you really?
Whereas Oz, you'd have big open spaces and you'd have spots to yourself. Yeah.
But I think it's made us appreciate Europe a lot more
Definitely.
and how accessible it is, and so many countries and cultures at our fingertips.
Such close
Compared to
proximity.
Australia seems, because it's English speaking, the food's really similar, but Europe's
You got lots of different cultures close together, haven't you?
So it made us appreciate that more. That made us want to come back and explore it
Yeah.
in
So
a van as well.
Is that what you've done? Do you go off in Europe in your van then, yeah?
Yeah, we've
Yeah. So in the winters, so in the summer, we spend working the season in the UK, in Cornwall, at a surf school. Matt's a surf instructor, and I help out and do bits and bobs at the school as well.
You're the
receptionist,
do
doing accounts and bits and bobs like that. And then we work the whole season, 4 months, 4 or 5 months, just hardcore, 7 days a week working, and then that allows us to go away for the winter.
Yeah, so we've been down to Morocco, and we've been through Portugal quite a few times. Love Portugal, and Spain, the north coast of Spain. We like going there as well, and cruising around.
We kind of stick to where the surf is, really. That's kind of what we follow.
Surf dictates our
journeys.
routes. Yeah, we had our Bible. It's just up above me. It was the Wayfinder in Oz.
And
that was
one
our
as
Bible
well.
there. Our Surf Guide Europe.
Surf Guide.
Yeah, that was a Christmas present from Steph.
Yeah.
That was a good present. That.
So when you came back from Australia, did you get the van straight away that we're sitting in now? How did you find that? How did that come about?
Yeah, we picked it up. We were working with a mate for this mobile surf lodge that he'd set up, converted a removals lorry, and it slept 6 people, and we guided them around to the surf, and we were using this as a backup vehicle. So it was his van before, and then we bought it off him, and we used it as like backup vehicle for airport transfers.
We were just hosting people,
and
surf
just
guiding, cooking,
staying ourselves. Yeah.
And we followed in convoy all the way down to Morocco.
Yeah.
South Morocco.
All the way down to Sidi Ifni. We got to a bit further down from there, and we were kind of frequenting the coast from there to Essaouira.
Yeah.
And so we got to know that coast pretty well.
Yeah, taking guests on and showing them around. And it was really awesome, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
And then that ended last
year.
Yeah, and then we
so
came
I
back.
guess people kind of find out online and then pay to come on this trip.
Yeah, it's called Wagon Surf Adventures. I'm not sure if it's kind of paused at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
While he figures a few things out, but yeah, I think he's planning to
Sounds like a great idea.
relaunch it. Yeah, it was really awesome.
It was good. I loved it.
It did come with a few difficulties, kind of parking up and whatnot, but yeah, the most part it was really, really cool. Met lots of different people, and it was just really fun to show people where we loved, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Show them around and yeah,
definitely.
it was awesome. It was cool.
Yeah.
So you got a van. What is the best and worst about being in a van? And that's really hard to say, but gotta hear it.
I think the best thing for me is just freedom and being able to go wherever we want and have the world as our backyard, just sleep out, travel, explore. I think I thrive on just moving. That's probably my favourite
Yeah, it
thing.
inspires your creativity as well, doesn't it?
We're both creative people, so
Yeah.
it always gives us like a lot of inspiration constantly, different places.
Just love life on the road and being close to, not being tied down somewhere, being close to nature and the elements and, the sea most importantly for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Both of us really.
Meeting like-minded people as well.
For sure, yeah.
Which is nice.
Mm.
And then the worst thing...
Yeah, it's not being able to have a bath.
Yeah, it's probably
Hot bath.
I miss baths.
I really miss
yeah.
baths. But yeah,
What can you do?
it's one of those things.
It's a good compromise, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stick a bathtub,
It's a bit
On the
tricky.
back, yeah.
You have to get like an inflatable like pool,
Yeah,
like paddling
yeah.
pool kind of thing, kind of.
That's a good
Might be the
idea.
same.
Boil the kettle.
20 million times.
Yeah. Get a massive kettle.
So can you explain what van it is and kind of give us almost like talk us around a tour of the
visual.
inside? Yeah.
So it's an Iveco daily. It's a 2.8 diesel turbo as well. It's got a nice towing gear in there. So if you're going up a steep hill, go into that. And twin axle. It's got an extended wheelbase as well. So it's pretty long. It's almost like, 5 and a bit meters.
Yeah.
And almost 3 meters high. And we've got a roof rack up there to put boards on. We've got an awning to put out, and then we've got a big boot space. When we initially got it, we lowered the bed, which is above the boot, to give us a bit more room up there.
Mm-hmm.
We can't exactly stretch out fully in it, can we?
No, it's a diagonal sleep.
Yeah.
But the 2 benches we have that we're sitting on now, that makes into a double bed. So if it's a bit hot or we just want a bit more room, we can lay out here, can't we?
Yeah, and the van widens out a little bit towards the middle.
We've got a pretty good kitchen.
Yeah.
3-ring hob, not 3 hobs.
Sink.
Fridge, sink, water.
Yeah, we've got water tanks underneath, and it used to be used for the people who previously owned it kind of converted it to do motorbike racing.
Yeah, that's
rallies,
why they
so
had
they
the
put the water
garage.
tanks
And that's
on.
why I presume there's that massive awning as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a bit of a beast of a van.
It
isn't
is. It is. 3.5 ton. It's unloaded, so it's a good rig, and it does well.
The garage is really cool. I like how the shutter goes up, and then you can kind of, I suppose you can put loads of wet stuff in there as well if you need to.
Yeah,
It's a good
it's
storage
pretty good.
space. So we got surfboards and put skateboard and bike pump, anything you need, toolbox goes in there, really important for that. And then gas bottle goes in there as well.
We did used to have bikes on the roof as well,
Yeah,
but I think we used them once the whole time because they were just so annoying to get off the
bit of
roof.
a pain to get off.
And we took them to a scrap yard and we got £1
No.
for them both because they were so rusted.
They're
didn't
from
we?
Morocco, weren't they? Yeah.
I've got a cheque for £1,
And we could have sold them for what?
€30 or something.
Yeah.
No
In
way.
Morocco.
But we were like, we'll
because
take them to scrap. We'll get loads of
there's
them.
loads of people wanted them. And we
50p
were like,
each.
nah, we're not selling them. We're going to use them. Never happen. £1, get in
That's
there.
mad.
Yeah. But yeah.
So what's your plans then this winter? Where are you going? What are you doing?
Well, we're getting married next June. So we're going to go away probably to Portugal. And we're thinking Morocco is probably on the horizon as well.
Yeah, so back to we're getting married. I kind of had one beer. It was Boxing Day.
This was last Christmas just gone.
And I plucked up the courage.
Oh,
We were playing cards at Super Tubos, a pretty famous break in Portugal. And I'd had one beer and I just went for it. And Steph thought I was joking.
I'd already beat him at cards 3 times. So he was grovelling.
Yeah.
But yeah, so another adventure this winter.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably work at the surf school again
Mm-hmm.
next summer. And then, I don't know, we're thinking of New Zealand for the
there's
winter after that. If you can plan ahead that
few little plans, aren't
But
there?
yeah.
See you there then.
Yeah, there's a few
Yeah,
things in the
mate.
pipeline, isn't there?
That's
But
it.
we love our van so much that the thought of not being near it.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'd sell it. I think we'd store it for a while.
Have you had any time away from the van? Like, what do you do if you've got to go somewhere and leave it?
We've left it with friends.
Yeah.
And we haven't spent much time away. When we were in Morocco, did leave it because I flew out. So you have to leave it in a secure area.
You had to go home and get a filling done.
Oh.
Yeah, that was lovely, that. Cheers for reminding me of that. After we've just had those scones.
Yeah, but we had to
Those
leave
jam.
it in the airport car park, which is a little bit daunting. But it was fine. There was
it was fine. You got security guards there.
The
all
army
time.
were pretty much patrolling. So.
We've left ours in airport car parks before because genuinely they're going to be as safe as possible.
Yeah.
I remember when we flew.
That was in northern Norway, so...
No, there was also the one in Portugal.
Yeah, Portugal. Yeah, that was a bit...
That was in Lisbon.
That was all right, yeah.
That was mad cheap and it was like
no
really
one's going
good
to nick your
protection.
van in northern Norway, so
No.
it's all good.
And it wasn't
They've
even
just
like...
got better vans.
It was it was an open car park. It was straight next to the street anyway. It was pointless really, but we didn't know where else to leave it.
Yeah.
We don't really leave it too much with...
No, we're never too far away from it. So we're always watching it.
So what about kind of family and friends and stuff like that? Like, do you miss them on the road? Like, how does that work?
Well,
do.
just beauty of having the internet. We can stay in contact and Skype people and video our family and show them where we are. They've come out to see us. They've come out to see us in Portugal quite a few times, haven't they?
Yeah.
And we've shown them some of our favourite spots.
My mum's down this week, staying in the static caravan.
Nice.
Next to us.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So that's really cool. And your parents coming down again, aren't they? They've been down before the summer and then they're coming down again, staying in the static. So it's all good fun.
Yeah,
Neighbours.
we try and see them as much as possible, but
yeah.
It's sometimes when we're on the road we do get a little bit like, we miss.
Were they like really shocked? Because obviously you hadn't been going out for very long when you just both went up to Australia and moved into a van together.
I think my parents were just kind of like, go for it, really.
Oh, I think that was initial, like, who's this?
Yeah.
Who's this lad?
Yeah, who's this lad who's just rocked up?
Who's this bloke? But I think they just wanted me to just adventure and just kind of just
broaden your horizons and just
learn more about myself and do it.
It's a perfect
have a
age
challenge.
to do that.
It is.
Yeah. How old was I? 22, I think, when I first went.
We've really grown into ourselves, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a challenge for a relationship. It's either sink or swim.
It was
when you
make
live
or
in a
break,
van,
wasn't it?
isn't
That was a good test. Yeah.
Yeah, but it
We
worked
made
out
it through.
okay.
Now you're getting married.
Yeah.
Who knows what after that?
Van life wedding.
What does a day look like for you guys at the moment?
So at the moment, we'd be up at about 7:15, and then we'd bike to work. Maybe get a lift off one of our colleagues, and then we'd go and set up the surf school on the beach. We set up every morning, take it down. It's a tent on the beach in Perranporth Surf School, best surf school in Perranporth. So
Little plug there.
if you want to go there.
If you don't go, you won't know.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the tagline.
Yeah.
But that's while we're working over the summer. That's our kind of routine, isn't it?
Go down to the beach. It's really tough life, really.
Yeah.
Sounds
I have to go to the office
a massive
again.
struggle.
It is.
Yeah, we do a bit of exploring when we can, but I mean, we tend to just work 7 days and just try and smash it out and get...
Yeah, in the peak season, don't we? Yeah. It's
So what about when you're kind of travelling? What's a day like
when
then?
we're exploring...
if the surf's pumping...
Yeah, we're normally on the lookout for surf, aren't we?
Yeah, we usually park where the surf will be good the next day, if we can.
We get up pretty early most days and we go to bed, not too late.
Yeah, so we don't stay anywhere too long, and we keep ourselves to ourselves a lot.
We're pretty stealthy.
Yeah, which is the way I think it should be if you're living in a van. You shouldn't be messy, you shouldn't leave any mess.
Yeah.
People shouldn't really know you're there, and you just enjoy it, and then don't stay there too long, don't overstay your welcome. So.
Pick up after yourself as if you were never there.
Yeah, like leave no trace kind of thing.
Perfect, exactly. But that's pretty much, we'll make a nice veggie feast and
make some good food.
I'll always do some drawing, try and do a drawing a day.
Yeah.
Do a bit of reading. It's pretty chilled, isn't it?
Yeah, should we say about the book? You do it?
Yeah, I'm illustrating a children's book at the moment.
Nice.
About adventures in vans and stuff like that.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, I haven't shared.
Adventures, isn't it?
Yeah, I haven't shared much of it yet, kind of online.
It's for future.
But But yeah, it's in the pipeline.
These things take a long time.
They do take time.
Yeah, you
I'm
guys
looking
will
forward
know
to it. Yeah, sounds really cool.
I'll
Is
send
that
you guys
what-
a copy.
I've just spotted that how to make books.
Yeah,
book.
that's
Is that
one
to do
thing.
with it?
Yeah, kind of. I just love having different books and just creative things around me that inspire me, and I can look at and get ideas, and yeah. So
have you got any interesting stories from like Morocco or?
plenty.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's hard, when you put it on the spot just to remember them all. But I think we were talking about one earlier where it's a true van life story. When you're exploring, you're right out in the middle of nowhere, and then the worst thing happens, and you think it's you're doomed, but then it all comes good.
It all works out. In the end.
we were right down south, just south of Sidi Ifni in Morocco.
It's kind of like when you start driving down a road and you think, we shouldn't be driving down this road.
Yeah, so we'd gone.
But you carry on.
So we'd gone in search of waves, and it was rare. It was raining in Morocco, and it was kind of drizzle, but it was raining. And we were driving down this road, and we turned off because we thought it was the way to the sea, and we ended up going down this kind of muddy track.
Oh, no.
Which
and
was steep.
Yeah, we went all the way down it, and then we thought, no, we can't get any further. So we turned back, went to go up this muddy track, and then we had this big clunk. The van just stopped, wouldn't go anywhere. What is that? We got out, thought, I don't know, we didn't know what had happened. And the drive shaft had just fallen off.
It snapped in half.
And the universal joints had just gone. And it was
Which is
just
what
lying.
drives the tyres and makes you
Move.
push forward, pretty much. In case you didn't know, I don't know, some people might not know what a drive shaft is.
No, I didn't. So thanks for that.
So it was
I'm
just...
pretending like I do know.
You're like,
whatever.
it's just it's the big pole pretty much that turns
Yeah,
underneath.
yeah.
Makes the wheels go round.
So because our van's quite long, you've got a couple of joints where a lot of pressure gets put on them. So yeah, the joint had gone, and it was just lying in the mud. Oh crap. And there was literally one tiny little house.
Wow,
and,
shack.
Yeah, shack. And there was this turkey with a little turkey. And we were out kind of looking at the drive shaft thinking, what are we going to do? And then this turkey started going, and it puffed its feathers up.
It was going
And it was like-
crazy at us. It was
And
trying
then
to
it
attack
started
us.
charging, and we were going, what the, man? What are we going to... Yeah, just jumped in the van. Turkey came over.
Like screaming at each other, like, what are you doing?
We were sat in the van going, what is this? It's raining in Morocco.
What
There's
is
a
life?
crazy turkey outside, and our drive shaft's fallen off. Can't go anywhere. So we had to wait for it to go.
It finally went away.
Yeah.
And then we got like a ratchet strap and managed to just kind of hoist it
Tie it
up.
up.
Oh, yeah.
And then we just slowly took our foot off the brake and just rolled back.
Yeah, we rolled it into a
kind
safe
of into
spot.
this person's front garden, pretty much, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then,
We
you
just
had a few
thought, what are we going to do
goats and stuff roaming around.
now? Like
So-
no phone, no internet.
Basically, the whole time we were in Morocco, we were kind of wondering what everyone was doing, sat at the side of the road. Quite a lot of people just sat on rocks, kind of just, blokes just sat there.
Chilling.
And you think, it's the middle of nowhere, what are they doing sat there? We found out maybe the reason because we ended up sitting at the side of the road on a rock, waiting for someone to come by so that we could ask them for help. A couple of people came by and they didn't really speak that much French.
Yeah.
Some of them did, and we didn't speak that much French either, but we tried to communicate. Anyway, eventually this guy came past on a moped. This is like one of those pedal mopeds.
Oh,
A lot of
yeah.
them have out there, and you thought, just like a random guy. And he came down we tried to explain to him what was going on. He came down, looked at the van, went under the van, came out with a universal joint, and then it was just like
He'd
said,
just taken it off
I'll
himself.
be back in a bit. Went off, came back with a mechanic.
What?
Mechanic.
But when he
had
went
him-
off, we were
yeah.
thinking, if he doesn't come back, what are we going to
Yeah.
do?
Yeah.
And
But he did come back.
He came back. He was sorting it out under there. The mechanic sorted it out, and then we were back on the road. And
Aw.
they don't charge a lot out there,
Yeah.
Just gave him a little tip,
and
like a
some
little bit of
They
money.
can fix anything,
bottle of
can't they?
whiskey. Yeah,
That's such a nice ending.
Like you see the houses and stuff like that. They can fix anything,
Yeah,
can build
they can.
anything out of nothing.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
amazing, especially at mechanics and old vans. They're just they can
non-alcoholic
just
whiskey,
fix.
wasn't it? So
Yeah.
that's all right.
Yeah, that's the problem with like some of the more modern vans, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like that's what it's kind of easier
Yeah.
to deal with an older van
Especially if
than a
they've
newer
got
one.
lots of electrics and things
Exactly,
like that.
yeah.
This guy just had a hammer and
Yeah.
I don't know what else.
Well,
but
they were
he
using
just
our
fixed
tools,
it.
weren't they?
Yeah.
And Yeah,
just
they're
from our
really
toolbox.
good,
So.
really good.
So have you had many other problems apart from that?
Oh,
Mechanically?
there's a long
been a
list.
few, yeah.
I can't even remember them all now.
So in Oz, we the head gasket went.
That's serious.
That was a big. Yeah, we were working, and we had a mate's place we could stay in as well. But that took a while. But it was either they were saying, you know, it's not really worth fixing it, but we had all that stuff in there. We only had a little bit left to travel, so we just thought, you just do it. So yeah, it was quite a big hit, wasn't it? But we needed to get it done.
When we were in Portugal, the time just gone.
Oh yeah.
We got back. We'd both been for a surf. Got back to the van, and the full beam lights were on, and the window wipers were just going on their own with no one in the van.
Yeah, that was an ongoing issue.
Water
wasn't
had got
it?
into the electric box under the steering wheel, and so that was kind of a bit
we were
of a problem.
up at 5 in the morning the other
No
day.
way.
And the windscreen wipers are going. It was chucking it down with rain. And I can't.
Yeah.
Looked under the bonnet, can't figure out where the water's coming from.
There's a tiny little hole it's coming through.
Well, I think I've sussed this kind of down the side of the windscreen, put a bit of duct tape.
We've just sealed everything up.
I mean, do you guys use duct tapes just for everything?
Yeah.
I mean,
Duct
look
tape
at-
is
look
the
at this.
best.
It is, isn't it?
This whole podcast
Duct
Yeah,
tape,
all of our
is
mics
duct
are
tape.
duct taped together.
Oh yeah. There you go. So,
But yeah, there is a long list. When you put on the spot, it's hard to think of them, but there's been plenty of. I mean,
the spot we've just been at actually, down in Godrevy, we were
of course,
parked there last year, and we were parked there ready for a surf in the morning, and the first time it was we were with friends and we'd met them for a surf, and we were saying bye because they were going back off. They were driving back up to Exeter, and we were like, yeah, see you later, and we were in front of them, and then like clunk again, and we were like, what's that? And it's the clutch had just the cable had just snapped.
Oh.
So we're stuck there.
had no clutch.
You know, it's a really bad place to be stuck, wasn't it?
It
Because
was
you could
like-
see the sea and the
yeah.
sand dunes. You could walk away. Yeah, it was really
Awful.
So we were stuck there for the weekend, and then the tow truck
We were
came.
being sarcastic, by the way.
The tow truck
But
came.
they couldn't come. This was on a Friday
Yeah.
night, and we had to wait till Monday morning, and we didn't have much food left. We were quite
Yeah.
far away, any shops.
So we sorted
but
that.
It was
and then
all right.
again, same spot. Happened again, but it was
Yeah.
the part that it was supposed to be welded. The plate was supposed to be welded on, and it had come off, and the clutch had stuck halfway down.
Oh no.
Rang the mechanic, and he was like, "You see if you can drive to us." Mechanic's about 10 minutes away, 10-minute drive. He's like, "See if you can get to us, but only in try not to change gear because it might go, again." So we went in first gear. It took us about an hour.
All the way on the virtual carriageway.
Rush
Oh
hour,
my
like
God.
7:30.
In first gear.
First gear. It got a little bit
Smoking
sketchy.
everyone
Steph
out.
was directing, and we ended up in a.
We reversed and crashed into a
God, yeah.
post.
Oh no.
Made a big hole in the back of the van. It was just one of those days. We knocked off one of the back lights, which was trailing along the floor, which we didn't notice. It was just one of those days that you think it's just not our day, is it?
Yeah.
Have you got any advice for anybody who was thinking about moving into a van or travelling in a van?
I would say if you're going to go anywhere where you don't speak the language, always have a phrase book or just some kind of app so you can communicate with people, or just try and learn the language at least a bit. Because we had times where we'd go to a mechanic and we're trying to just use our hands to show them what is up, if you're talking about mechanically anyway. But in general, what else would you say?
So just be prepared for the unexpected, and there's always some sort of challenge that you'll have.
I think whatever could go wrong will go wrong sometimes.
Yeah, it will test you. But then the rewards are
Yeah.
massively outweigh the drawbacks for sure. And just have an open mind, and don't there's a lot of kind of what's the word, necessities, or that people think are necessary in the 21st century to have, that you don't really need. And it goes
Less
back
is
down
more,
to
isn't
basics,
it?
really, for sure, definitely.
So what have you found the van life community to be like?
Everyone.
There's a bit of a mix in
Yeah.
every kind of community. I think most of the people that we know who live in vans are just really down to earth, open-minded, adventurous people.
Just simple living.
Yeah, just really sound people.
And living on the cheap.
Yeah, because you get some people who are living it full time, or they kind of do bits and bobs, or they just go away for the weekend or something like that and live in a van. it's all good.
I think a lot of people have the same just interests
Ethics and stuff, don't
ethics.
they?
Yeah, so that's where it's
You get
nice.
you get the kind of I don't know, it's the small few who kind of ruin it for everyone else, like the reputation of people who live in vans. It gives them a bad rep, being loud, obnoxious, like just staying somewhere too long and leaving in a mess, you know.
It's like with wild camping on Loch Lomond.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to wild camp there anymore because all the people from the city would come there,
Yeah.
wild camp for the weekend, leave their tent, just trash the place.
No
and now you're not allowed to wild camp
ruins
along massive sections of it. And it's just it's
we
not
had
fair.
a little bit of that last night, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So go on, Billy, you explain.
So obviously we'd driven quite far yesterday and we got here at about 10:30, I'd say.
Yeah.
We got to a car park that was full of vans, so that was a nice surprise to see so many other people. But then at about 11:30 they decided to have a party and it was just... I wasn't in the mood for it, really.
Nah.
The thing is, it's not our car park. It's kind of all of our car parks. So
just respect each
yeah,
other.
it's kind of like
It's not their car park.
we
Exactly.
can't tell them not to do that. But then at the same time, it's kind of, you know, to start a fire in the middle of a car park and start playing like dance music at nearly midnight.
There is a fine line,
bizarre.
and it's always a bit of a grey area because it's like you said, it's not anyone's car park, but it's kind of it's just kind of like decency towards other people. You know, 11:30 at night.
There's plenty of like. Well, it was right next to a beach, so you could, you know, I don't know, there's walkways and kind of beaches and stuff if you want
could
to.
have gone down there,
Yeah.
But we were okay because we just because we were in a van. That's one of the good things. You can just literally just drive off to somewhere else, which we did. And just as we were driving off, the police came past us anyway. So it firstly
looked
like we'd call the police, which we would never do.
Yeah.
And but it meant that we weren't involved in whatever the police did with them.
Have you guys ever had any problems with the police? Have they ever moved you on?
The only time was in Morocco, which was once.
Yeah, Morocco, and the reason was I was chatting to the main. It was actually the army came down because it was near an army base. I was chatting to the main guy, and he was really a really cool guy. You could chat to him, but he was just saying, you know, previous years one van had come, and then another van, and then more and more and more,
and they just didn't leave.
And they didn't leave for ages. So it's, you know,
I think it was a month, and there was over 100 vans.
And they
there.
say it's, you know, it's for your safety, but it is, you know, you just don't take the piss and just
it's that fine line again. It's like you don't want to outstay your welcome, really.
And also, I think when you're in another country, it's just respecting the locals as well, and you knowing it's
like they have to live
land,
there, you know,
and just tidying up after yourself. Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people will, in their vans, go out and pick up litter and stuff just to, you know, improve the area where they're staying, just as a little token gesture to, you know, we're staying here, but we're not going to trash it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, there's definitely parts of Portugal like that where people don't move for months at a time.
It is. It's crazy.
There isn't, a few countries we've been to, and it's not really what we do at all. We're the opposite, really, you know, and it depends on the surf, I guess, and...
always.
But we'll never really chill
I just
anywhere.
get bored really easily and just kind of want to see new places and just, even if I've seen that place before, I want to see
Let's
it.
go back.
I want to see a different sunset or a different sunrise.
I think that's one of the great things about being in a van is that you can literally go wherever you want, pretty much. So it's like, you know, if you want to go somewhere else, you can just go and you've got
like
everything
unlimited
with you.
exploring.
It's a sense of freedom in this world, isn't it? Where,
freedom is literally the word of van life. Everyone we ask, they're like, freedom. It's literally the word.
You're not tied to anything. You just...
You're taking control.
Come and go as you please.
Of your own kind of life a bit more, aren't you?
But I guess maybe it's the older generation that kind of hang around a bit longer and they're kind of slowed down a little bit and they're a bit more chilled. Whereas us kind of young people want to just kind of...
Young? You nearly 30.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely.
Sounds mate. I'm a bit sore now, he's 29.
I've achieved a lot.
Still
I'm
young.
I've got a lot to achieve, but I've done a lot.
I don't want to be 30. But anyway, let's not get onto the age chat. I'm just going to pretend I'm 25 still.
Wow, 25 makes you feel young then.
So where do you see yourself at 30?
About
do you,
6 kids.
No, absolutely not. Mortgage.
Yeah.
No, absolutely
a
not.
death pledge.
Yeah, death pledge.
pledge.
In French.
Yeah.
where do we see ourselves? I think
there's a few options, isn't there? Really,
yeah,
that we're
we've got a
looking
few
at.
ideas flying around. Maybe with a bit of land somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, we've still got quite a few places we still want to check out. Especially New Zealand and Canada.
Yeah.
A bit of the US.
Maybe go back to Asia a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
So would you kind of ship a van out to Canada, or would you kind of buy something there?
We've looked at
Yeah, we've got really good mates who've done that. They've been doing that for decades, and they've been all over the place. Really amazing people. They've got lots of really awesome stories, and they just know everything about everything. They can help you out with anything. Really happy to help all the time. And
need to get them on the
they've done
podcast.
Yeah.
You do. Yeah, if they would.
They're a bit hard to get hold of, aren't they?
Yeah, they said it's by square meterage, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's by cubic. So it's
cubic
the total
It's the size
area of the
isn't it?
van. So that's adding on. The roof rack would add a lot of money.
Like they
if you're
took the
gonna put it
wheels
into-
off
Yeah.
and all that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
and
we looked at how much it would cost for this size van, and it would
It's
just
not
be
worth
cheaper
it,
to
yeah.
buy one
Yeah.
and sell it again.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. I think
Yeah,
we'd
that's
do
the
that.
thing. You can just sell it on, and you've
Yeah.
only spent maybe a couple of grand.
well,
Yeah.
and the money you save not staying in a fixed abode. I guess in Oz it was very extortionate. For
Australia
if staying
is
hostels and things
expensive.
like that.
And campsites even were $30 a night.
Yeah,
Which does, it adds up if you're doing it for a
Yeah,
year.
definitely.
You just don't want to be
Definitely.
spending $30 a night.
So yeah.
How do you do with power in the van? Have you got enough, or would you want more?
We probably want a bit more, yeah. If this van, was one that we were going to stay in for the foreseeable future, yeah, we'd probably invest in maybe another solar panel, and because we don't really use the fridge when we're cruising around. We use it when we're
I had a look in your fridge today, and it's just full of beer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What's that about?
Yeah,
Someone just we gave them a surfboard, a foamy, so they gave us a crate of beer.
That's
in
fair
return.
enough.
That was the only storage place.
Well, no, we always we buy crates and crates, don't we? We smash it.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we definitely don't.
Yeah, that's.
We're pretty boring, really.
Yeah,
to
we
be honest.
don't really spend money on alcohol, really, do we?
No,
It's just food and fuel.
food, fuel. Yeah,
We'd just
maybe
rather
the odd
travel more.
surfboard goes in there as well.
And are you guys veggie, or you just don't eat a lot of meat, or?
We're pretty much plant-based, aren't we? Like we're veggie, I'd say 95% of the time.
Yeah, we eat fish, and
have a
but
lot of fish.
it's just easier and cheaper not to eat meat. And to be honest, it's a little bit of a mix. I've got
Ethical as
yeah,
well.
Yeah.
A bit.
we're not going to say, oh, we're strict veggie, strict vegan, but the more and more I don't eat meat, or we don't eat meat, we just the look of it, and you think, why do we need to eat meat to this extent anymore? It used to be
And,
about survival, didn't it?
The more time we spend immersed in nature as well, and just seeing animals,
Beautiful
and
cows in
things.
northern Spain.
Yeah, you just think, I can't eat you.
But,
But yeah, I think the word we'll call it is flexitarian.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
yeah, we
Yes, I
don't
like
eat a
that.
lot of meat at all. No red meat.
no red meat.
And more like that's for health reasons as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we try and be healthy. As
I feel
much as
really
possible.
bad saying that we eat vegetarian, but then we still eat a little bit of meat. But I guess
I mean, we'll have the odd bacon sandwich.
it is
Yeah.
it's good. Like say you've got low iron levels, haven't you?
Yeah.
So it's good to eat a little bit now and again.
Yeah, but we'd like to eat more fish, wouldn't we?
Yeah,
We
definitely more
enjoy
fish.
eating seafood, but we do suck at fishing.
Yeah, we do definitely.
Yeah, we've tried it a couple
That's
of times.
something they
so
do
nothing.
hugely in Europe.
Yeah,
You always see people fishing up bridges and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, they love it.
We did just get ourselves a new little bucket barbecue, didn't we?
We did. That's
Nice.
good from Mozzers. Talking about fish, there was a time in Oz when we were trying to fish on a pier, and it was down in South Oz. It was in a national park down on the York Peninsula. How beautiful around there, and yeah, there was quite a lot of people on the pier fishing. Big school of kids there, and there was some guys at the end of the pier with kind of quite hefty rods. We didn't know what they were fishing for. Yeah, sounds a bit suspect, doesn't it? So anyway, yeah. So there was this moment. Steph was handing me this plastic bag, and I didn't quite grab it before she'd let go.
It was like pristine
She let go.
turquoise water.
Gust of wind came. Yeah, threw it into this pristine water.
As soon as it
So
happened,
it's about
everybody's heads turned at us.
10 foot
are you gonna
high,
pick that
the
up?
pier, yeah. Everyone just staring at us. And
Well, basically,
there was
I
only
said,
one person who was going to have to jump in and get it. Steph wasn't doing it. So I had to take the plunge, swam out to get it, and it kept getting further away. So it was a good, like, I'd say
It was a big old swim.
100 odd metre swim, you know, to get it, come back. Got up, climbed back up the pier. Everyone was clapping, like, yeah, well done, you know, really good. And then, yeah, a bit later on, the guys at the end of the pier with these big rods, yeah, they started, there was a bit of commotion and they was reeling it in, pulling it, the rod was like really bending. and and yeah, all the kids, God, it's not sounding good. So everyone just rushed over and it turns out that they'd caught a bronze whaler,
big shark.
bronzy, and yeah, they were
Massive.
reeling
Oh my
it in.
gosh.
So just off the pier, they caught one
And
of
Matt
these, and I'd just
jumped
been in
in
there
there.
swimming. Yeah, fair enough. It was pretty shallow, but we asked
Still.
them what they caught, and they said, yeah, I think it's a bronze whaler. Must be pretty big, and they said it would take them like all through the night to reel it in.
What?
And it was early evening. They said they'd be there trying to reel it in.
No way.
So, yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah,
That
it
is
is.
like,
Miss.
that's the kind of thing that terrifies me about the
Yeah.
ocean.
Yeah.
I think it, yeah.
So in terms of kind of like van life in the UK, like where have you been in the UK? Have you been to Wales? Have you been to Scotland?
We've been to Wales, haven't we?
Yeah, been to Wales, and we've
Spent a lot of time in Cornwall.
spent a lot of time in Cornwall pretty much. We're mainly kind of working in the summers, but yeah, we've
We'd
seen a lot
like
of
to
Cornwall.
see more of Wales and Scotland, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
And Ireland
Yeah.
would be
Yeah, we'd like
really
to go over
cool.
to Ireland. We get a lot
Yeah.
of people saying to go over there.
Yeah,
So
I
my
think-
granddad's from there, so I'm
yeah.
like, I need to go for like a, heritage
and
kind
South
of thing.
Africa. You should go there.
Yeah,
You've
I've got family from South Africa as well, yeah.
And
But not in
got
a
family
van.
all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in America, yeah, they're everywhere.
Sure.
But yeah,
New Zealand.
definitely Ireland would be awesome. But
Yeah.
I think someone told us to go and it's a bit warmer.
Yeah.
And that's the time when we're working. So
Yeah.
when we have a bit more time, I think definitely.
So one of the kind of main questions that we get is the cost of kind of van life. I mean, you don't need to get into like real details, but is it generally cheaper, and why is it cheaper?
Well, it is.
You can go. No, you go.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how good you are, how strict you are with a budget. We do budget heavily in the winter. So last winter we had a couple of grand each, which wasn't really, we'd like a little bit more, but that would last us kind of from, that was the start of November all the way through till, when did we get, like mid end of April. We did do a little bit of work during the winter, but not anything substantial at all.
But yeah, we're pretty strict.
Yeah.
All we spend
it's
money on
pretty
is
cheap.
fuel and food.
So fuel and
That's it.
food is like your biggest outgoing, would you
Yeah.
say?
Yeah, it's a bit of a
Definitely.
guzzler. So you probably get on a good run, maybe like close to 300 miles out of a tank. But then if you're driving stop start, you can go down a little bit. But yeah, it does rinse it quite a bit.
That's
for
the
sure.
thing as well. I think kind of people listening and, our subscribers to YouTube and stuff like that and Instagram, people assume that you need a lot more money than you actually do, I think. I think you can do it for a lot cheaper
Yeah.
than people think you can.
I think even some of the fit outs in a van, I mean, you need to buy the van, of course, but you could do a really kind of cheap
Good
but
job.
really
yeah.
good job.
Yeah, you
You got
can
f-
be quite frugal. Like obviously, there's things
Definitely.
like eBay, there's scrap
Yeah.
yards, there's all that sort of
Scrap yards
stuff. You
are
can get so
amazing.
much stuff
You got-
second hand.
Like
It's
wood.
almost a good challenge, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
see what you can do for this cost.
Definitely.
Think outside the box, and it does make, even though we might have a bit of a carbon footprint with the diesel, emissions and things. We are kind of sustainable in a lot more ways than we were before when we start. Before we lived in a van, and I think that's the way we want to go as well.
Also, we'd
Yeah.
never ever be able to afford to live in the locations
Yeah, that's
that
true.
we
That's
do
a
in a
big
van
point.
Yeah.
ever. Would we?
No, we wouldn't. Definitely not. Yeah.
It's kind of like that with where our narrowboat is moored up at the moment.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't get a house there for under £500,000.
Yeah, it's just...
And we're living in that area the same as they are. Yeah, we don't have, the house and whatnot, but it's the same area. It's the same beautiful views.
Yeah.
You're in the countryside. It's,
Yeah, I think, you're totally right, man. A lot of places that we go in the van, especially when we're in Oz as well, really, expensive, beautiful houses, but very affluent areas. And
the cool thing is you get to move to the next one.
Yeah.
They're stuck there. And
you change, it's pretty much changing address at the turn of a key, isn't it?
And you look around and you think, this is brilliant. I'm in my van, I've got my home here.
And isn't it great when you pull up to a spot at night and it's dark and then you wake up in the morning and there's a beautiful sea view or the mountains and
it's amazing. It's like opening a present.
One day in Oz, we were. It was during work, and we parked near Denmark and in Western Australia. And we opened the van door, and there's this beautiful sunrise. We didn't know where we parked. We just wanted to find somewhere just to sleep.
It was a big valley with a lake,
and you had kangaroos just jumping around in the morning haze.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Beautiful, some beautiful air, and you could get the camera, and it's hard not to try and capture everything.
Yeah.
Kind of, yes.
Sometimes we keep a lot of it to ourselves, don't we? And don't photograph just for us to have a moment.
You've got to, otherwise you end up looking through a lens all the time. You see people rock up to spots, because say in Oz we were doing a lot of touristy areas, and when we go down to Europe we look for places of significance that are beautiful, and you go and check them out. Some people just rock up, get the camera out, take a picture, and then just get in the car, drive off. You think you haven't fully immersed yourself in the scene. You haven't really...
Well, when I was in America recently, travelling around, just living out of a hire car, we went to Page in Arizona, where there's a place called...
Horseshoe Bend.
Horseshoe Bend.
Yeah.
It's an amazing place, but, there was a hell of a lot of people there. One guy turned up and got his iPhone out, pulled up an Instagram shot and tried to copy that Instagram shot exactly the same. So he was positioning his feet exactly the same. This person had positioned their feet, and he spent 30 minutes, 45 minutes just trying to get the perfect shot that was exactly the same as that one, instead of kind of trying to come up with his own composition.
And really actually having a look at his surroundings. He was fixated on his phone.
He would have completely missed that sunset.
Yes.
He was looking at someone else's shot. And they probably took their shot, had a great time.
Yeah, exactly.
Went home, enjoyed themselves.
Took a quick snap.
So I think Instagram, I think there's really good parts of Instagram, but, it has kind of not ruined, but it's definitely heightened certain areas and certain spots.
Yeah, definitely.
We're devalued photography a little bit, I feel.
But Matt, you are a professional photographer.
Well.
But yeah, definitely. We're relatively secretive about a lot of spots we stay in, just because
you find it yourself.
It's part of exploring.
People might tell us person to person.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people ask, where is that? And, you can go and find it yourself, and that's the whole fun of it, really. It's exploring, and it's that sense of achievement when you found something really beautiful.
And especially if you're the only ones there.
We were talking to some people before, and they said how they kind of just, if it's a dead-end road, they drive down it, because most of them have cool things down there. It's like, don't be put off by the dead-end roads.
It's a good way to go about it, for sure,
And also Google Maps satellite view is really good for being able to just have a look at an area and see what there is where you could go.
That's definitely the fun of it. I think Matt's kind of the driver, and then I try to find loads of different spots and cool places to stop.
Doesn't always work out, but that's the beauty of it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you will end up going down a track and swearing at each other, saying, why did we ever come down here?
Gets a bit heated, doesn't it? You get local people just staring at you thinking, what are they doing?
When we were in Portugal last, we went down this one track, we were like, it's going to take us to this thing, and we got there, and it was just, the road ended in this man's farm. And he was just like, what are you doing? And we couldn't turn round. He ended up having to help us do a 25-point turn to get out. Okay. It was awkward. So it does happen, but it's a memory.
Yeah. Do you remember when we drove?
It's all a memory.
We drove down that track pretty much into that hedgerow, And we had to reverse all the way back out, past all these Spanish farms, and people were wondering what the hell this big blue van was doing.
Yeah.
So have you guys got anything you want to add to the end? I think we're going to wrap it up soon, but anything you want to plug, anything you want to add?
Website, Instagram, YouTube?
Yeah, so we've got a little thing going called Slow and Steady Living. That's our Instagram name. We've got a website as well with all our photography on it. We're going to start selling some prints, aren't we?
Developing that, but we've got that in the pipeline. We're going to finish the work here, and then we'll have a little bit more time to kind of work on our website. And we've got a lot of material that we're going to offer to get canvas prints done and printed on different things. Kind of it's like sublimation on laptop cases. We've got some cool laptop cases.
Yeah, because we've got a lot of really beautiful landscape shots and things like that.
Phone cases.
We've got a lot of people asking us for prints and whatnot. So but as well, just growing our blog and hopefully
your illustrations.
Yeah,
make some tees, hoodies, and hats and things like that.
We've got a lot of video footage as well, which we want to make into some maybe like YouTube videos.
Definitely set up a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I'd love to see some of your travels.
Yeah, definitely going to places like Morocco and stuff. Because I've never been. I love seeing what other people do there.
I think we'll probably do that this
it's got to be done. We missed the trick a little bit, didn't we?
And any of your old footage, you could create something out of that as well.
So we've got, we seem to be sitting on a lot of content and we just need to get it out there pretty much.
Yeah.
All sounds really cool. So thanks for sitting down and chatting with us.
And thanks for giving us your whole day as well.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, you too, vice versa. And thanks for the scones. Yeah, they're epic.
No problem.
Good to meet you.
It's the only reason we stayed for the podcast. I'm kidding.
Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to find out more about what we get up to, then head over to our website, theindyprojects.com, where you can find links to our films, Instagram, Facebook, and other social media profiles. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.